A lot of different comments about some things that didn't go right against Kent State early in the game, just scoring the one touchdown late in the first half. James says Kent State was confusing the offensive line with their run fits. They didn't do much straight up beating the line.
Well, I think what was happening a lot, and as I watched it, there was just Oklahoma wasn't pushing them off the ball, as much as you'd like to see out of the offensive line, and a lot of times you would see, and this is very similar. Listening to Gabe Eichert, you saw that a lot last year, where the offensive line just really wasn't really knowing who they were supposed to be blocking in the scheme. A lot of times they left an unblocked linebacker, and that's the guy who was making the play, in the hole. So I think that continues to be a little bit of a concern, just understanding. And this scheme is much more simplified than what Lincoln Riley's scheme was. So the fact that they're still having struggles, being able to know, where their keys are, and where they're working to, so to speak, from a blocking scheme is something that's concerning. And I don't think I think the one thing that you see that's not as big of a concern as maybe it's been in the past is just they don't have the strength up front. I think Rame is doing a lot better with his strength. I think overall they're a lot better. And so, there's some cohesion that comes in with the offensive line that you have to understand, obviously with new players, coming in, obviously with McCabe Matower as well. So I think that's something that you'll continue to see them get better at. And I know that, Caleb Williams and Caleb Williams helped, kind of mask some of those issues from an offensive line with his ability to, to move and be mobile in the pocket. And then Kennedy Brooks with, the patience that he had from a running back perspective as well. So we'll see how that continues to go. I think the one thing that you see is both Eric Gray and Marcus Major are running the ball really well. Marcus Major might be the better of the two, just in terms of a pure running back. And so we'll see how that continues to go throughout the rest of the year. If, you see Marcus Major get some more of those carries in the inside zone scheme, and then you have Eric Gray more of a two, but he's more of a kind of a threat out of the backfield from that type of situation. And I think one of the most intriguing parts of this game is just to see, what Oklahoma has held back on both sides of the ball, where, some teams, like particularly in Nebraska, didn't necessarily have the, the same luxury of being able to hold some of their stuff back and things like that. So that'll be something that's really interesting to watch on Saturday, to see how much Oklahoma has held back on both sides of the ball.
Well, Jason, the chat is extremely hard on the offensive line in terms of not getting the push, being too weak, not getting the job done, needing a new offensive line coach, all of those things.
Yeah, no, you got it. I mean, I think like I said, the concerning thing for me is, and it's not panic or by any stretch of the imagination, because, you still have the opportunity to get much better through a season. But I think the concern now is at least right now, this is the third year in a row that this team has had at least through two games here, a little bit of a subpar offensive line performance related to how they have been, in the past, in the, 2017, 2018, 2019 season. So we'll see how that continues to go. But I think that trajectory is what causes concern, certainly from some of those, for some Oklahoma fans.